What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Armand, and you're listening to the Armand Wiggins radio show, okay? Yeah, so we got to get into some things tonight. It's Saturday night, January 4th, 2020. Oh, my God. It's 2020, and secretly, we're already 4 days into 2020. I'm nervous because it's like, I feel like the year is almost over.
Almost over?
Oh, please. Already? Before you know it, the year will be over.
Well, let's not think about the end. Let's think about the beginning. It's only 4 days. It's time to get things started, just like this podcast.
Yeah, so I told you guys we're going to be doing the podcast. There's a lot of things that people are doing in 2020 nowadays. For one, we have started to try not to eat meat. Two, we are going to be doing this podcast. So shout out to you guys. You guys can find this podcast on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm trying to give me a second, guys, listening right now. I'm just trying to make sure that we get this podcast on to Instagram. But we have in the studio today with me, my baby, Kenneth is in the building. Give it up for him.
Hey. Hi, guys. Hi. How's everybody doing tonight? Like you said, while you're looking at that, we've been doing the no meat for 3 days. It's been actually going good, surprisingly. We haven't had any meat in 3 days.
Yeah, it's actually been good. Like last night, what did you make last night?
Lasagna with, well, instead of meat, we used like the veggie crumbles, and it was actually really good. We ate too much.
Yeah, we ate a lot of that. Now, I did have a little bit of the poots, but that's because you put a lot of that cheese in there. I didn't really like all that cheese. No, so you put a lot of it in there.
Well, next time I won't put any of it because you can't have cheese at all. But okay. I thought we were making that for it.
But I don't know why you try to like threaten me like you're punishing me. I don't like when you try to do that. Oh, we won't. We put in any of it. You don't have to say it to me like that.
Oh, shut up. We're gonna use the other cheese that you like to use. Just replace it with the cheese I had multiple cheeses in there. I just spread the ricotta cheese like you do any other lasagna, but you said I used too much, so we won't use it because you were scraping it off. So that was a waste anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was way too much. So, but everything else was good. And then we went to Chipotle, and then we had
what is that called? What is the vegetarian meat that whatever the vegetarian meat that's called at Chipotle is actually where I got the idea from. We ate the Chipotle. That was actually pretty good. I saw how they did it, and then I took it home and I did it myself because I don't need to be spending money on Chipotle every day. So yeah. Chipotle was good. So we had that, and it was like a vegetarian, but it tasted like meat. So I was here for that. As long as it tastes like meat, I can be here for it. So that was that, and then today we went to my aunt's house, and she had cooked this whole meatless. Hers was completely plant-based, period. There was nothing in there that even remote. Everything was organic or vegetable, and it was actually pretty bomb. And I was full. I didn't think I was gonna be full.
And then tonight we had
tacos.
Now they tasted a little bit like Taco Bell, but I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Taco Bell's been in business for a long time. You know, when Taco Bell has like that meat that really doesn't taste like meat, but you hope that it's meat. That's kind of what the tacos taste like to me.
Yes, but they were. I think that with the meatless thing, it's all about the seasoning and everything, and then that might just be why Taco Bell's meat tastes like that, because maybe well, obviously, everybody says it's not real meat anyway. So, hey. It was good though. You had about 4 of them.
I didn't have 4 of them. I had 2 or 3.
Okay, well then I had 3.
I don't like how you try to put me on blast. You had about 4 of them. No, I didn't have 4 of anything.
Okay.
Don't ever try to play me like that.
But you had about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you try to play me.
Okay, I've had about 2 or 3 too.
Okay. So, and then the other day we tried to do like this vegetarian bacon. Now that didn't go over so well.
No, that was dog food. That was
It
pure.
tasted like dog food.
It
It smelled
smelled.
like dog food.
And then the dog did want it. So then I really didn't want it. So that's what I will never buy that again.
Yeah. Well, let's get into why we're here. I want to talk about relationship problems. Like, if you're not in a relationship, maybe you might not understand this. However, you might can relate to a certain degree because maybe you might be that friend that's not in a relationship, or maybe you were once in a relationship and you felt like, hey, I remember feeling like this at one point. Maybe this is what it is. But for all those people in a relationship that have friends and, you guys are working and you guys are doing good and, things are going well in your lives, right? I don't know about the rest of you guys all out there listening, but for me and Kenneth, it seems as though like a lot of people feel like we just have it all figured out. And sometimes it feels like there's a lot of haterade in the mix. Like, what do you like? You know what I mean, baby?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Yeah, like you said, people think that everything that we have everything together and we don't need any help and we're all figured out and we're just we don't have any struggles at all, and that's definitely not the truth.
Yeah, and see, okay, so how this came up was we were at a bar, we were talking to one of our friends, right? And basically, we were asking him, was he going to go out to a specific event? And he was kind of like, no, my money is kind of funny. It was just New Year's plus rent is due and blah, 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 blah. And we were like, I get it. And so he goes, and I said, we have bills due too. Like we got to pay our rent and we got to pay car notes. Like it's the first for everybody. And then what we get typically whenever we kind of like, how you vent with your friends and you talk about, bills coming up. Well, people always look at us and say, well, I don't have two people, or I don't have help, or I don't have somebody I can fall back on. And I'm thinking to myself, nigga, I don't have, just don't think because it's two of us, we're living one person's life.
There's now two cars. There's now two people using the PG&E. There's now two people using the water. There's now two people who have to eat. There's now two people doing a lot of things. So yeah, we do help each other, but it doesn't make it any easier. There's just double the stuff that we now have to pay for.
Exactly. And it feels as though people look at us and they're like, well, because it's too, like, I almost feel offended, even though I know this friend wasn't trying to offend me, but I know others feel away because it's like they look at us thinking, oh, well, you have it all. You have a partner, so you can figure it out, or you got extra money, or you can make the extra drive, or you can stay out later, or you can buy the extra food. It's like, no, I cannot.
When it's like they look at us like the two makes it so much easier, and compared to it's almost like it comes off sometimes from certain people like a little bit of an insult, as if like it's really not that hard for you guys because there's two of us, and when they're doing it, it's harder or it's more work or something, when that's not the truth. We do just as much work, it's just as much hard, there's just as much struggle, and there's just as much everything as anybody else. There's just two of us with double stuff that we have to do now.
Yeah, like I don't really like that. And I kind of personally feel like, we get that a lot. And I'm just trying to figure out, why do you think that we get that?
Well, I think the first and foremost reason is that unlike a lot of people and a lot of other relationships that I see, not everyone, but a lot of relationships that I see, we don't share our business on social media, and we don't go to our friends and share all of our we don't tell you when me and you have maybe got into it, or when maybe we've had to discuss a bill, or when we had to maneuver and do certain things. We don't have to discuss that with everybody like a lot of other people do. A lot of other people like to share all their business and struggle so people feel sorry for them. We keep our stuff in our home and we deal with it together. And so when people don't see that, they just think everything is so great. But it's like, would y'all be more happy if we shared struggle with you? Like, y'all just can't support us doing good. Like, it seems like we start to lose support because we're not struggling. So then people don't want to be around us because then they all of a sudden can't relate or something, or they feel like they're not at our level, when it's like, no, we just don't go around exposing all of our business.
Yeah, like, and that's how I feel about it. Like, I feel like a lot of people would feel better if, we would be like exposing our business. Like, I could be honest, that's why I feel like we don't have a lot of friends. Like, we even moved to certain places. We even got a house because we're like, yo, like, if we get this house, we'll have a lot of people hanging out with us. We can, because a lot of our friends, it's no shade against our friends, but a lot of them don't have a lot of space to host. So we were like, okay, we know we live far out. And so we can create a space to host, but a lot of them don't want to, hang out, or they make excuses, or it seem like they'll, like, I swear, like, this is no cap, and I'm not even trying to be shady, but it almost feels like, oh, excuse me, they would rather go hang out at, like, oh my God.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, you could say it. I don't want.
It seems like people would rather go hang out. They would rather, if we have this decent sized home where we always invite people over, we're always like, we invite people over, we want to share, we want people to come over, we want to have a good time, and people will find a way or a reason why they can't, or they don't, or this and that and the third. But then you'll see them and they're hanging out in this smaller house or apartment where everybody's crammed in and it's not enough space, and it's like, why? And it seems as though it seems as though people like to be around people that they feel like they're doing the same or better than. And when they get around people who remind them of where they want to be, but they're not, then they try to avoid it. So then it makes them feel better about not putting in the effort to improve themselves.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, and it's not that our relationship is perfect, because, we've had our share of bullshit. Like, yes. A lot of it, you know what I mean? And, we probably will have more to come. No relationship is perfect. But it's like, I feel like sometimes, even with the friends that we have, like, some of them have said to me, like, I feel like you've changed since you got a boyfriend, or, I feel like you're no longer around because you're in a relationship, or it's almost like they would rather us be single. And it's like, no.
Yeah, but that's always coming from a bunch of single people who want you to, that just goes back to single people. Now they want you to be all of a sudden now, and it'll be funny because we'll have friends that may have in the past been in relationships who at that time they completely understand they're not looking for our attention or our time, but as soon as they are single, then all of a sudden it's like, well, you don't have time for me because you're in a relationship. It's like, well, now what, I'm supposed to break up because you are single? Like, they always want us to come and meet them at their level. It seems like a lot of people don't, and it's not to say we're higher or better. Nobody's better than. It's not about better than, but it's more of, so why do we always have to come meet you at your level? Why can't you come meet us at our level sometimes too? Like, it should be a friend should be a pick, and like, we should go back and forth. It should be like, you benefit me, I benefit you. That's relationship and friends. That's any relationship. And people kind of always want us to kind of go, I'm gonna just say it, they want us to go down.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that. And but at the same time, you're not going to downplay us. Like, you have it so much harder because you're single, and because we're in a relationship, we just have it easy. Hell no. And let's be clear, a relationship is work. They don't know what I had to do to get you on the right page, and they don't know what you have to do to get me on the right page. There's a lot of people that are in relationships that are not interdependent. There's a lot of people that are in relationship with niggas that are tearing them down. There's a lot of people in relationship with broke females, or broke baby mamas, or broke niggas that don't do nothing for them. I've seen a lot of these same people be in relationships and still be doing it on their own. So don't try to make it seem like if a person is in a relationship, they have it so much easier than you. No, you just need to step your cookies up, because there's times, and we've talked about this, where I was like, I felt like it was easier being single. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you felt that way too.
I mean, because you have to realize, when you get into a relationship, your thoughts and your ideas and your feelings are not the only thing that matters. So maybe if I felt like something isn't important, that thing that I think might not be important might be important to you. So now I have to make sure that is going or works, or whatever the case may be. I have to make sure that is what it is. I can use something simple. We don't really like to have a lot of dairy in the house. I don't really particularly care about the dairy for myself, but it does benefit you and help you well. So I'm going to make sure if I go get sour cream, I'm going to get the one that's non-dairy. But if I was single, maybe that wouldn't be a problem or something I have to think of. That's a very small scale that I'm using.
Yeah, that was like, that's very small.
But I'm just using it as an example of when somebody can not care. Okay, we can even go to, you have to have the fastest internet for running the YouTube and running this your podcast and everything. Me personally, I don't necessarily need that, but that's a bill that is put on that's a bill that I take care of, and so I have to always make sure that that's going. And so maybe just because I don't care about it, now I have a partner who does, so I'm going to always make sure that goes. Now that's because I have to think about you,
and it has to be paid. And if it's not paid,
then
we have a problem.
Exactly.
Because we could never, my line will never be disconnected. No. Ever. My line will never be disconnected due to non-payment, period.
Yes, because we have that capability. We have 1,000 MPHBs or whatever, and that has to be going so that we can have nights like this where we talk on the podcast and you do your show. So that's not something that I'm not a podcaster or thing. I come and join you every now and then, but that's something you need. So if that's the bill that we've allocated to me, I have to make sure that's going. So that's the part where people don't realize, like, sometimes, yeah, you do think being single might be easier, but then you have to go into what you want out of life. And I don't want to be single. So you have to do what you have to do.
Yes. And I agree. And just for people that's going to be in the and thinking like, wait, how did you say no dairy with sour cream? Yes, you can have vegan sour cream. I just had some tonight. There is a such thing as no dairy sour cream. You have to go search for it. It's not everywhere, but they do have vegan sour cream.
It did take me a while to find, but they do have it, and it's actually it's out there. It's if you have a Safeway near you, if you have a Save Mart, Walmart, they do have vegan sour cream. So
yeah. So with that being said, it's just like I'm just at the point where like I feel like I'm a snap on somebody, the next person that try to make it seem like our lives are just easier, because I'd be like, stop trying me.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's because, like, I do think it goes back to the fact that we don't go out there, and we're not the couple that when we get into it, we do subliminal tweets and Facebook posts to each other. So people ain't like in our, it even goes back to, we had an old friend that we fell out with that we know tells everybody's business.
Oh, God, right.
And when we fell out with them, and when they fallen out with their other friends, we've known that friend that they fell out with. We've known all their business.
All of their business. Like, I know all of his business. To the point
where I'm like, damn, I don't think I should know this.
Right.
But us being private and things like that, we don't have that worry of now that we're not friends. I mean, it's been over a year, going on 2 years, and none of our business has been told, because we don't just go around sharing all of our business. And so people just, all they see is the positive, which I feel like they should see. That's what they need to see. When it's between the negative and things that we go through, that's what happens in our home. I was always taught what happens in your home stays in your home. And so that's something that we do well. And what we want to share with you guys is what we choose to share. I feel like a lot of people want you to share your downfall so then they can either feel better then or find some way to relate in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, I realized that just through New Year's. I realized that just through general, like trying to hang out, like being in a relationship and trying to have friends is very, very hard, because people do not, I mean, they say they support your relationship, but a lot of times it feels as though your friends and people close to you, they want you to be single for themselves. Or then when they try to compare themselves against, like, I feel like when people look at us, they're like comparing themselves with us. And by no means do we have it all figured out. And that's, I think, what is frustrating.
Yeah, because we ourselves knows that we don't know that we don't have it all figured out. We're learning day by day. We have conversations about our own communication, our own money spending, the way that we just have a lot of different things that we're still working out. And I feel like people just think that everything is figured out because of one thing that they've seen. They feel like they got it all figured out. And then it also goes back into the fact that I feel like people assume that we don't ever need any help.
Yeah.
And it's like, we need help, not even just help like for it, sometimes it's just a word of encouragement or a call to see how we're doing, or things like that. People feel like they don't need that. They're good, and it's like, no, we ain't always good.
And here's the thing: even if you didn't want to help, which is fine, but my thing is, they don't want to help, but they don't mind taking.
No, people
will take the last.
Yes,
and that's my thing. And they think that they can take, whether it's your energy, whether it's your time, money, whatever, because they feel like, well, you have a man. Well, bitch, a man is not everything, girl. I'm still a human being, and I'm still one person.
And then sometimes it is like, yeah, I when we get invited places, yeah, I do have a man. So when you're telling me to go to this place where the tickets are $50 for you, they're now $100 for our household.
Right.
They're not 50. The 50 you're spending is now 100. That's coming out of our pocket. So yes, we do have a man. So that's another person that's another person that is going to be having to spend the same 50 that's going towards something. So like people don't calculate that either.
No, they don't. They just think, oh, well, you guys have it. No, nigga. Whereas one person for you is double for us. And you don't know and then if you really want to go into it, it's not a 50-50 with everything. Sometimes it's it's 100 for you, and then maybe you buy the gas, or you buy it. Like at any given time, that $50 ticket is $100 out of one person's pocket. Right. It don't mean, like, when you're in a relationship, I don't know too many people in relationships that just go Dutch all the time. Everybody's not going 50-50.
I mean, that's what people miss. Like a relationship, at the end of the day, you're supposed to become one. So when people are looking at it like it's y'all got this, y'all got that. No, we've now incorporated all my bills that I had by myself and all your bills that you had by yourself. And we got to figure out how to allocate the money that I bring in, that you bring in, to all these different things that we have to keep going. So when we get invited somewhere that it's $50, that $100 don't just come out of that. We don't look at it as my pot, your pot. This is $100 coming out of the pot that we have. So that's still more than double than what you're spending.
I'm going to turn this heater off.
Oh yeah, it's very warm in here. So that's why he's turning the heater on. I think that's one of the main problems that people don't realize is that it's never just one of us. It's always two of us. And then if he is out or I'm out and it's us, don't think, oh, you have a man so you can spend this money. No, I probably need to be spending this money on my partner or for other people, their wife, their husband. Like, I don't need to just be spending the money on you. I should be taking care of my house, my partner. If you guys have a family, these kids, like, people always take it like, oh, well, there's two of you. You can help me out. And that's not the case either. I can't take that. I can't take that at all. So I don't know. We've just been dealing with this a lot lately.
And I think we had just got, I don't even think I turned it down.
You didn't even turn the heater off. Well, then I think that on New Year's, we got a little bit of a realization where people were thinking, because somebody they just said it. And I don't think that they were being a hate. The person that said it, I don't feel like was being a hater or anything like that. I think they were just talking, and that's just the person that they were. But they just kind of said it like, it's easier for you guys. And then it's kind of like you realize that's how, in that moment, we realized that's how a lot of people think.
Yeah. And speaking of like New Year's, I'm trying to also figure out why people are so sensitive.
Yeah, people can be very sensitive.
And see, this is the thing, because I think that you're a little bit more likable than me on first glance. People really don't like me. And I think maybe that's probably why we don't have a lot of friends, because people probably don't like me. They feel like I probably give a lot, but I just don't have, I have a very zero tolerance for BS type of personality. And I'm a either you love me or you hate me kind of person. Like, I don't know. Like, I like, if you're an adult, there's just certain things that I'm just like, I'm not catering to you like a child.
Yeah, and I just think some stuff like you don't have to look so deep into it. Like it's not everything isn't shade, everything isn't a diss, everything isn't trying to come for you, everything isn't like that. Like some stuff, it just is. That's just which how you're talking. Like you say stuff and you really move on, and you probably don't. A lot of times, people will make something, and you don't even realize it was something until they came up and concocted it, and you're like, what? And you
Yeah.
really be like, that's the furthest thing. I actually didn't think nothing of that.
Well, okay, so for the people that didn't know, so basically we were with a group of friends. Now, I was with a really close friend, and they were driving the car, okay, and me and my man, we were following, and we were just trying to figure out things to do on New Year's, but the location where we were at, everything was closed, okay, so everything was closed on New Year's Day, so we were like, damn, there's nothing to do. Now, my friend had two of his friends with him in his car. Um, they're associates of mine. They're not my friends. And so we were trying to figure out if different bars were open. But the next bar we were going to go to was about 45 minutes away. And so I wanted to call the bar to make sure it was going to be open before I had everybody drive 45 minutes away. And so my friend was basically asking me, he said, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm trying to call the bar to make sure that, it's open because I don't want your guests to fill away, or I just don't know, I just don't want them to feel put out, or because I know that was my friend, so he probably would have came, but I just didn't want his friends or his guests to be put out. And so one of his friends that was a passenger in the car goes, after like 15 seconds, I guess she had to let it like sink in, she was like, a guest? I'm not a guest, I'm a friend. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, but you're still a guest. You know what I mean? Like, why are you so like, why do you feel like, why did that bother you? Like, I could tell that pissed her off that I called her a guest, but it wasn't me being shady towards her.
I just think people like they want you like people yeah because she took it like so like you said like a guest like that meant that she wasn't your friend's friend, and it's just like no, this person is a guest in your car, and if you're the one driving, I'm making sure that if we go drive this far distance that we get there we don't waste your time, and that your guests aren't upset that we drove this far. And so why would I don't know why that would offend anybody, like, but she kind of came off like she was a tad bit offended because she was like, "I'm not a guest, I'm a friend." Well, I mean, was it that
People need to
serious?
relax, but I feel like that, but see now, this is just being me. I feel like that energy comes off of like maybe conversations are being had about me
Well, I think
because
people,
there's preconceived emotion about me. I feel that way.
yeah.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like bitches be discussing me and like Loki throwing shade.
Well, I definitely feel like people. I feel like people are always discussing you because you
Can
can
you
hear
get closer to the mic?
people because you can always hear um, in the way people talk like they've had a preconceived conversation, and then I think also sometimes I feel like when it comes to your close friends that they tend to like go through this like competition phase, and I don't really feel like you be in the competition but they do, and so they feel they I feel like she could have took it like you were trying to like downplay her position, which you totally weren't, because she feels like she's like a friend, one of the close friends too.
Yeah, so she might have got gassed up, or there might have been a conversation. See, we know what we know. There probably was a conversation that because I'm in a relationship and because that's already been a thing. Like, oh, you only care about your man and your YouTube. So there's probably been a conversation of this other person was more of a friend than me. So when I called them a guest,
Then they felt like, no,
I'm
actually
really
your
a friend.
Yeah. When the
That's
thing,
that's what that energy
actuality,
was.
nobody even thought that far. It was just like I mean, I don't know. That's like going. That's like I having my friend over and to my home, and I say I have guests over. They're not gonna be like, I'm not a guest, I'm your friend. No, you're just a guest in my home. That is my friend.
Right.
It doesn't take away that you're my friend, but you're a guest in my home. Just like she was a guest in his car, and we're about to drive this far distance, and it could possibly be for nothing. So we're just double checking. So there's no reason for you to be offended. But people they like to. It goes back to the people are too sensitive because people get sensitive about a lot of things. I don't understand it. I don't understand why everything has to be an issue. Like everything is not an issue. Everything is not somebody trying to come for you. Everybody isn't challenging your position or anything like that. But
yeah, but that was a no, to me that came from a preconceived. Oh, Armand is extra. Armand gives a lot. You know what I mean? Armand could be shady. Somebody, and that could have been my friend having sidebar conversations with his friends about me.
Yeah, so then that gives. Well, that's the thing too.
Because that's what I feel like.
Sometimes there's separate conversations that are being had about people that give people who are not even your friend or close to you the right or the ability to think that they can feel a certain type of way based off of what somebody else told them when they don't even know you themselves or have that encounter with you themselves, so they already are kind of ready based off of what and then they think they're going to defend or side with that person now all of a sudden.
Right.
So that's what I think that happens a lot. People feel like they like to feel like they're in and they're more higher up as a friend. Like I've never really had this issue, but I think I've seen a lot. People like to compete as like the quote unquote best friend of a person. And so when they feel like a person has more than one friend, they feel a little bit threatened by it. So when they feel like when that friend comes and vents to them about the other friend, and they feel like that's their time to get in and move up higher in the ranks, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, yes, he told her you aren't a real friend to him. So she gaslighted like, I'm a friend. I agree.
I think that sounds agreeable too.
That sounds very accurate to me. However, but where does that stem from? That stems from the relationship. I feel like that. I feel like people feel like when you get in relationships, you should just like. Here's the thing: if you have a friend that's in a relationship and they're trying to do the right thing and be in a relationship, then be supportive of them, especially if you see that it's working. Now, I'm not talking about, your friend that's in a relationship every other week, but if your friend is going through, been in a relationship 2 to 3 years and more, understand that that's probably what it's going to be and play your role. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that people forget that like in any relationship, like this is somebody that you spend every single day with throughout the day. You like this is when you when you get into a real relationship for a long period of time, over a year, the person gets to see who you really are when you're by yourself. Like I think that's another level of understanding somebody, because who a person really is when they're hanging out and when they're out, but when you are who you are, when you can be who you are by yourself around people, then that's when that person ends up really becoming your best friend. It doesn't matter who their best friend was before that, how long their best friend was. They don't really get to know you the way you get to know somebody in a relationship. You get to see their body. You get to see their flaws. You get to see everything about them.
Their body? What does my body have to do with anything?
It has a lot to do with stuff.
You just want to go straight to my body?
You're so annoying. Yes, you get to see my body. I get to see your body.
But what kind of? That's very freaky. This is YouTube. You don't need to go on straight into.
God.
You get to see their body. That's weird.
Body is a self-conscious thing. Like
people
don't always get to like people. There's some people who will go to a pool, men who will go to a pool and not take off their shirt, and that's just a normal thing. That when you go to a pool, you take off your shirt. They're not, but when they're by themselves, they have no problem taking off their clothes and doing things. You get to really see people for who they are. It doesn't have to see your body in a sexual way. Like, you're so crazy. I can't.
No, because you try to.
Your body. Shut the hell up. Irritating. But that's what I'm saying. When you be dating somebody and you're like you're with them for over we're about to go on 3 years. There's no way in hell that my best friend or your best friend or anybody else could really think that at this point in time that me and you are not more of a best friend than them.
Yeah.
That just is what it is. It doesn't take them out. It doesn't remove them. It doesn't like make them lack anything. It just is what it is. I see you. I see you when you're mad, happy, sad, upset, all these things. I have to experience that and go through all that with you. I'm going to sit up here and learn you, and we are going to become best friends. That just is what it is.
Yeah. So, but those are just some things that we go through. And I've just noticed, like, outside of like our drama that we have with each other, because that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that part is just not people's business.
Yeah. I mean, but I think that people be wanting us to like share struggle and downfall, and it's like, why are you looking for downfall? Why are you looking for the struggle? Why are you looking for when we go through it?
Well, and here's my thing. I'm not even sharing struggle and I'm not sharing struggle and downfall with them, because I don't necessarily want them to. It's not because I'm hiding anything. It's because if you're a real friend, like I would probably be, you would become biased. So you would start to not like my partner. And at the end of the day, I don't want to share every time I'm pissed off with you, because if I take you back, then I'm going to look like, then people are not going to care about what I'm saying, because they're going to be like, well, bitch, you're still going to take them back anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like, if I know I'm probably going to take you back or we're going to work it out, why do I need to go and tell everybody what happened?
Right. You're like, why do I need to, every time me and you might have a disagreement or an argument or anything, I got to call my friends up, and now, your friend's going, your real friend's going to ride with you. F him, forget that, leave this, do. And then the next day I'm calling them, oh yeah, we're going to the grocery store and everything's all good, but they still mad, and as rightfully so. And then now you want them to get over it. And then at that point, then you start taking your partner's side and you looking at them, and now you have a strain in that relationship. Like, it's like, just keep what you. I feel like there's like, you have those moments where you might just need to talk to somebody, but if you're telling your best friend anybody every single thing that you have going on, then that's when I feel like that's so unnecessary.
I agree. I feel the same way, because it's like everything is not meant to have a discussion. And then sometimes it's not even just best friends. It could be regular friends and close friends, and sometimes you just don't know how long you're going to be friends with these people. Like we said, we had a very good friend, and that motherfucker would tell everybody's business, and he didn't even have to be mad at his friends. He would just tell their business just to tell their business, because it was gossip for the day. And I didn't understand why that hoe posted a picture of me yesterday. That was so weird. What was that about?
I don't know. I think that.
What was that about? Like, don't post a picture up with me. We're not friends. We haven't talked in a very long time. You don't like me. I don't like you.
Period. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was weird myself, but I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know about that, but I would just I think the main reason for this, I think we just needed to kind of talk this out. Do you want to take some calls? We can take a couple calls.
Yeah, like some people want to chime in, or maybe they got a question.
Yeah, so we can take some calls.
If you guys have any questions or anything.
Okay.
Block them. No, sometimes you gotta let haters see how good you're doing.
Okay, the number is 563-999-3658. You guys can call in. You guys can definitely call in. Let me see. Let me put the call in number. Here's the call in number. 563-999-3658. If you guys would like to call in. All right. But yeah, outside of that, it's just like, I don't know. That was just weird to me when he was like, you guys got it all together. Or you guys make it. Oh, no.
He said make it look easy.
You guys make it look easy. Well, I mean, I don't feel like we're trying to make anything look any kind of way. It's just like, if anything, we're just trying to make it through life. Shit.
And then it was like the context that we were talking about was like your rent and your bills. I mean, I personally don't want to
I don't want to look
look
hard.
hard paying my bills. Like I want to look like I can do it. Like I don't want. Why should I have to look hard? Like paying my rent and my PG and my bills is hard to do. Like if that's the case, I don't ever want to look that way. I like that if making it look easy is that's not going to be a bad thing for me. I like that if that's not a problem. There's other things that I could focus on then, because that shouldn't. I like that God has blessed me with that not being hard.
Well, I'm gonna say this honestly: whether I was in a relationship or whether I was single, it's been a goal of mine in my life to be able to pay my bills. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like,
I don't think anybody should have a goal to struggle paying their bills. Like that's what you want to make of your life. You want your regular life to be a struggle paying your bills.
Let me tell you something. It'd be every other month where I'd be like, you know what? I'm finna go get me a job. I still be ready to go get me a job. Because I don't like to rely on YouTube and this and that and the third. Like, I'd be ready to go get me a job and go back to work. Because I like, me, I like to switch shit up. I like to do different stuff on my page. Maybe I don't want to talk about celebrities no more. And that's what the people want to hear for, like when it come for. So at some point, I like to have financial freedom to do what I want. When I don't like to be too, what are you looking at? You look, just keep going. I'm trying to make sure. Is there something behind me?
We're in the studio with the doors closed.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to figure out what's in the corner. No, but I like the freedom of, I want to be able to like change and do things. Like it has nothing to do with being in a relationship.
No, I don't think you should wait. This is the thing. Don't wait till you get into a relationship to figure out how to pay your bills. You should figure that out on your own, whether you're single, with somebody, with child, without child, with a dog, with a cat, anything. You should figure out a routine that you pay your bills, that it looks easy, if that's what people want to say. Let's put the quotes around that. Make paying your bills look easy. Whether it is, whether it's not, it should look easy and it should get done. That's just what a goal everybody should have. I don't know why that wouldn't be. I don't know. That would start to irritate me, because I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, it looks easy. Well, I don't. Well, good, because I don't want it to look hard and starting to look like I don't pay my bill. I don't want to look like I don't pay my bill.
Yeah, you don't want to look like you look like you struggling to pay your bills. And if so, I shouldn't be looking that way out at the bar. I should be at home looking like that.
Yeah,
right?
I should be at the bar. Yeah, we should not be having a conversation of it. You guys make it look easy to pay your bills at the bar. Maybe you don't need to be in this mother lover. Maybe you need to be at home. So then when you start to look easy, you can come back out.
Right. That's my whole thing. But at the same time, that's probably why a lot of people don't like to come around us. For the life of me, I could not figure out why it was like people do not like to come around. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to dim my light. Remember, I had one friend that told me I did too much.
No, before we get to that, let's go back to talking to business. You had a friend that came to you and told you don't never have no tea.
Oh yeah.
Like you were supposed to, every time y'all talk,
have some drama
to talk about
on somebody else's, about another person. Yeah, this fool told me that he didn't like talking to me because I never had no tea.
That was funny, but it was, when you really think about it, it's like, is that all you want is drama and negativity? Like and he was mad. Like he always had somebody else's business to tell, but he was mad that you didn't have that.
Right. No, that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, and then back to, like you said, somebody told you, because I think it was at a time, it was when you was really starting to YouTube, you was really getting into it, you was going to
I had
work.
Quit Facebook for a year. I was working my job. I was trying to DJ.
Yeah, and
I was doing a lot.
You was grinding, figuring things out, and they told you need to slow down.
You're doing too much. Like, what friend would tell me I'm doing too much? Wouldn't you just be like, keep doing you? Like, what I'm doing too much.
That's crazy. You're doing too much.
Yeah, I think that is very crazy.
Like they didn't want you to be working that hard. They didn't want you to be
Yeah.
trying to grow and figure your life out. You was doing just do nothing. That's really what they wanted you to do. Or go to the bar and let's talk about other people's business.
Right. Like, yeah, let's just be messy all day. Listen, I could be messy for a coin, but I'm not going to be messy for free about some people that are locally around my neighborhood. Like, for what? No. But yeah, me and that person are not friends anymore. We haven't been friends for a while now. But yeah, so I just kind of want to get that off my chest. The main piece of this, you guys, was if you're in a relationship, be in that relationship, enjoy it. You're going to have drama. You're going to have issues. And don't let people make you feel like your life is so easy or try to downplay you and your life purpose and your goals because you have a significant other. And if you're single, understand that your friends that are in a relationship, they don't have it easier because they're in a relationship. And a lot of them have children. Let's be clear. Children make things a lot harder. So, let's not try to have like a struggle Olympics or a struggle comparison. Just do your thing. And if you can't make it out to the bar, just be like, I can't make it out to the bar. If you can't make it on that trip, say you can't make it on the trip. If you can't spend that extra $100, just be like, I can't do it. But don't try to justify it with the fact that, well, you're in a relationship, so you can do it. Don't, like, girl, just say you ain't got it. Like, period.
And then also for the single people, while you're waiting or looking or maybe just on hold from your relationship, take your time to get interdependent. So then when you do get with somebody and you find another interdependent person, you guys both bring something to the table because you're also going to both bring more stuff that you guys have to take care of. So make sure you're right. Don't wait till you get with somebody to think that it's going to be easier, because it doesn't get easier. You just have somebody to go through it with.
Pretty much. So I guess that's it. We're going to get out of here. And then for the people that's so sensitive, y'all need to stop being so damn sensitive in 2020. Can we just let that go? And can we let the friends, let's not be fake. Let's not be fake friends. But let's not be sensitive. Everybody is not out here hurting your feelings, and you should not be so easily offended. Let's not be so offended, people. Let's not be so easily offended, please, in 2020.
Yes, I agree.
All right, y'all. Well, we just was on here talking. We got some more videos to do. Listen out. I'm planning to do this. You guys can please make sure you guys subscribe and rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You guys can listen to it on there and subscribe to me on there. And here's the thing. We're going to probably be doing live podcast versions like this nightly. This is for my YouTube people. So we'll probably be trying to do this kind of nightly. And we'll do our celebrity topics during the day. I'll maybe come on camera, maybe not. However, I kind of want to I want to have some real conversation. So I'm going to try and make sure I at least come on here as many times. at least 5 days a week. That's what I would like to do. Okay. And have just regular conversation, because I'll be honest with you guys, that celebrity shit, I don't be caring about. Sometimes I don't care. I don't care about them niggas. And so maybe we'll do this as a nightly little situation. So you guys can come back every night and we'll talk about something new. So
you have a question. Do you want to take a question?
Oh, you can take a question.
That's Travis Wu. He said he has a question.
Okay, go ahead and take a question.
Travis Wu, what's your question? Are you gonna call in or are you gonna just type it?
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Type it in. Oh, let me see. Is he on the line? Let's see. Oh, okay, this is Travis. Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I love KJ, and you know why I love him? Because he keeps you balanced, okay?
Okay.
He grounds you a lot from what I can see. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
But What he does, and I see that he has a way of smoothing your feathers over. So I really love KJ for that because I know you like me. Like when you get really pissed, like you will go in really really hard. So
Yes, I will.
he's there to yeah, smooth you over. But here's my question, and it has something to do with a marriage. Well, a marriage is actually around me, but I've decided to kind of like distance myself from the situation at hand because I have these two friends, right? And they've been together for like 5 years, I want to say. But when I first met them, they were cool. So they started, I guess, inviting, a third person within their marriage as a boyfriend or whatnot. So they did it one time already, and it failed. And one of the husbands really got really upset about it. Like he was really really sad. He lost weight. And then the second time around, they're doing it again with a close friend that I know. So do you think that? What do you think I should do with that situation? Should I just distance myself from it? Because I know for me, I don't agree with the whole situation. Or should I just stay around and be friends with them or whatnot?
Wait, so are you the third person in the marriage?
Oh, no, not me. It's a close friend of mine. I don't do that. I don't share.
Oh, well, girl,
It's
it's
just a
kind of
close
really
friend of
not your
mine that's-
business
that's your
then.
business.
It's
Yeah.
not really your business to be concerned because your friend know what he's doing. So really, it's not even really, you just supposed to just be there to sip slow, bitch, and give him your little opinion, but it's not really your business.
Which I decided to distance myself from, but they want to invite me out around the situation at hand. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Who wants to
I really
invite you
don't.
out?
I don't
All
want
three
nothing
of
to
them
do with
want to
So
invite you out?
they want you to come out with all three of them.
Yeah.
So
That's
why
what I'm
don't you
saying.
want
I'm
to
not
just
trying
go
to- I'm
out?
not
So,
the type-
but what's the real tea? Like, why can't you go out with them?
Because one of them is doing certain things behind the husband's back that I don't like, and I would rather not be around it just in case something goes down that I have no knowledge of it. That's why.
Oh,
That's the reason why.
so you know some tea.
You don't want to be a part if it explodes and blows up.
Well,
don't.
how
Right.
are you in? Like, but it
Well, how
seems
do you
like,
get the tea?
well, how do you get the tea, and how involved are you in the tea?
Because like I would hang out with one of them, right? We'll be
Okay.
going out and he'll tell me things. I'm like, well, I don't really, and he knows my stance when it comes to, open marriages or open relationships. Because I'm like this: if you seeking validation from somebody else while you with someone, my views on it is like you want to do your thing, but at least you have somebody in your back pocket just in case this other thing doesn't work. And I don't like that because you're wasting the other person's time. So I'm like, I don't want to be involved with none of that. I don't.
Girl, I'm not
I really
really
don't.
sure what you're saying. I feel like you know something, or somebody like you, or somebody like, what's the tea? Like, really give me the tea, because you're not really saying it clear. It's three
What y'all
people.
want to know?
it's two
Y'all want me
people.
to just be flat out and tell
Yes,
y'all?
we-
Are they
yes.
listening? Because we could just keep.
Oh my God.
Let's just be real, because it's a lot more than what you give. You talking in circles.
Okay, well, one of my close friends that I know was telling me that he was getting involved with a married couple because they're looking for a boyfriend or whatnot. At first, I really didn't think about it, but I knew that my friends that are the married couple did it before, and I thought they were like done with the situation at hand. So the thing was, I went out. He invited me out to go hang out with this couple, but it turned to find out to be my friends. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I was kind of like ambushed in a
Okay.
sense. And then like my close friend would tell me things about the situation when it comes to one and not in the other, but he's more drawn to the other person than
Okay.
he is to the husband. I'm like, right.
So
So
they're
the
all
friend-
your friends, but you don't want to be in the middle because you
Yeah.
know that the third
No.
person is like more drawn to the other one, and if something falls out, you don't want to be in the middle of it. Okay, I got it. Yeah,
no,
you don't
I
need to be
don't.
involved,
No, I
or
do
you need
not.
to stop getting out the tea. Just tell them to stop talking to you about it. You got to stop entertaining conversations about it because they're both your friends, and you need to tell them, listen, on both sides, this is the fool, and don't call me.
Well, I don't answer none of their text messages or phone calls because I'm busy, quote unquote, but I'm not busy. I'm just home chilling and watching movies. But I don't want to be involved with none of that kind of stuff because
I understand because they're both your friends, both sets of people.
But I don't, like I said, I don't live off that stuff. Like I got a lot of stuff going on to be worried about somebody else's, relationship stuff like that. Like I don't get off on stuff like that.
And honestly, you shouldn't get involved in that because when ish hits the fan, when everybody's looking to blame, you're going to be the scapegoat, and you don't want to be.
Right, they're going to try to fault me in it for. Right. No, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah,
I really don't. Oh my God! But yeah, that's why I called because of that. Because I know you guys are not in that situation at all, but I just felt like I needed to get it from a relationship perspective.
Oh, child, listen.
What I should do because of the.
We have a guy coming. Sorry to cut you off, but we have a guy. We had a conversation with a couple, and it was very tifo. Well, one of them is a bartender, and the other one is some type of engineer. But they have some type of open relationship, and they were at the bar, and they don't even pick up the men together. They go and pick up the men separately while in the same place. And I asked them, I'm like, well, do you care if your man go and sleep with somebody else or F this? And they're like, no. And I asked them too, when's the last time that you guys had intercourse or slept together? And he said a few months.
Yeah, they didn't really remember. But they knew, but he remembered the last time he slept with somebody else that wasn't his man.
Yeah.
Listen, the couple that are married that are my friends, they haven't had sex in over a year with each other.
Oh my God.
Over a year. So what's the point of y'all being with each other?
We were in the bar and they were both picking up two separate men.
It was secretly they was both trying to see what we were given.
Yeah, we was eating a nice
burger
and wings
to see if y'all was gonna.
Well, no, one had got kind of upset because the boyfriend didn't introduce him, and he was the cuter one, so he was probably used to getting the most attention.
So we already knew the bartender
but I knew the bartender not on nothing outside of just knowing the bartender.
And so but the boyfriend, he didn't know that, so he thought that. I guess
he thought
yes that he had picked us up too, which was not the case. Let's make that clear, which was not the case. And so he felt some type of way when he finally, after we went to a whole nother bar, and we had to introduce ourselves because.
Yeah, I'm the one who said it. I'm like, are you going to introduce me to your lover because he keeps looking at us?
Oh wow. So my thing is, like I said, they probably have that arrangement to the point where if something doesn't work out within, I guess, outside of their whatever they have, they could fall back on each other just as a backup plan. And I don't want to be no one's backup plan. Either I'm the one and only, or I'm nothing. Okay.
Right.
Boom. How about that one?
Okay. Well, you better make sure you're not in that situation.
I'm not. I never will be in that. No, because I had called in a few months ago, and I told you about this dude I was seeing out.
Oh, right. So how was that going?
I cut him off on Christmas Day.
Are you serious?
Because at the end of the day, yes, because he wants me to move out there with him.
Okay.
But he's not putting any kind of actions to show me that he wants me to move out there with him. And the thing is, I don't want to be honest with you guys, I don't like the Bay. I lived there for 4 years.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay.
But like I said, if it was something consistent, we had a solid foundation, I wouldn't mind making that sacrifice just to know that, okay, we have something solid. It's something that's serious that's going in a certain direction. That I wouldn't mind to live there and also have a good job as well. So,
did he come to see you at all, or did he try to do it? Like, did he give any kind of energy? Remember, I told you to see if he would come see you. And, see if he would plan that. Did none of that ever happen?
I told him not to. And I told him don't even reply to me or talk to me.
Okay.
I'm mean.
Why did you do that?
Because he did something that was unforgivable.
Okay.
And I would never, ever
what was
give
that?
him the time of day ever again.
What did he do?
It's a lot of stuff that I found out.
Okay.
And
He was
it's a lot
seeing
of stuff that I
somebody
found
else.
out. That
Was he sleeping with someone
yeah, he
else?
was seeing
Okay.
some other people.
Okay.
Yes, that I knew.
They were
and
your
lied about it.
friends or associates and close people?
His associates. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't your ex, was it? The ex that you were with for a very long time that lives here as well, right?
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Not him. No, not him at all. But yeah, that was done. So, it's a lot of things that's happened in this new year so far. Like, I'm cleaning house. Like, if
Well,
you
and
cannot,
and
if
not
you-
for nothing, I kind of feel like we just got to be real. You liked him, but not liking the Bay Area was a little bit more of a reason for you to be able to cut him off too. Like, we got to be honest. Like, you didn't really want a reason to have to move back either. You know what I mean? So it kind of made it easier for you, no?
it did. I ain't gonna lie,
You're like,
yes,
you know
it
what I mean?
did.
Like, just be real,
Because I already was planning to move to Phoenix anyway.
Right. That was
before
your
my
whole
lease is
plan.
up here
Uh-huh.
in July. Right. But when he came along, I was like, okay, let me just keep this option open just in case something serious does happen.
Uh-huh.
Although I don't like the baby, and the reason why, because of the people, the traffic and all that stuff. I get agitated real easily. I have manic bipolar disorder. So
So do me.
with that
So do
being
I.
said,
We all do.
no, I'm like diagnosed with it. I have to take like medicine for it.
Okay, so
In
you'll
order for
go
me to go
off in
sleep
a
at
heartbeat.
night.
Okay, you'll click out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a nut job.
Okay.
But
Ooh.
but if I was there to be with him, it would have made it easier for me to deal with it,
Right.
just because I had somebody there. But other than that, no, I'm gonna move my ass to Phoenix like I said I was gonna.
Well,
do.
that's what you wanted to do anyway. You can go find you a nice white man or Latino man out in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? And go
I
to
ain't trying
school.
to find no white man or Latino man. I'm just trying to find a man that respects me. I don't care what you are.
We're absolutely. I think that's
Right.
the best part. And make sure when you do that, you have friends that understand that when you get a man, like, your
Right.
focus is going to be your man, because that is the issue that I'm having. A lot of times I feel like friends don't understand that when you get into a relationship, you have to have a focus on your man. And then, not for nothing, I mean, I know I'm rambling on, but two, a lot
No,
of times
you're not.
people-
You actually making sense. I understand.
and then a lot of people
I understand
like
what
to
you're saying.
like to have my time, and there's some friends that want to talk to me, this, that, and the third, and they feel like I can't talk to them. But listen, I'm at a different point in my life. I'm 30 years old. If you ain't talking about shit, then I can't. We can't get. You know what I mean? Like, in a few years, I'll be 40. I got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time to sit and kiki and gossip about the girls at the club last night. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are on, like, okay, like, girl, like, let's make sure that we can get some property. What's our career looking like? What is our plan? What is your next, like, let's talk about elevation, all the things that we talked about as a child, going on yachts and living the high life and, doing all this stuff. Like, at some point, we have to actually start putting action to those words. And if you just want to sit and talk
Right.
about, the nigga that you met off of Jacked and Grinder, then I can't fool with you, girl. I'll call you later. I'm working.
Right.
Sometimes
You got
people
things to do.
I have
Listen,
things
if it
to
don't
do.
make money, it don't make sense. Okay.
And then sometimes people get used to you being the single friend, and then when you get in a relationship, you're not there for them to call they've been in a relationship the whole time you were single, and then they're waiting whenever they need to, they can call you and they can come see you, and when it's F their man and F their girl, they can come hang out with you, and then when you finally get somebody and you're like, I don't have no time for you, then all of a sudden you did something wrong to them. So don't let those people bother you either.
I'm glad you said that, because it's actually somebody that actually stays in the Bay right now. That was my BFF that I met through 7th grade, and he moved out to the Bay before me.
Yes.
And then when I got with my ex, and I wanted to focus on my relationship, a friend of his told him that I wasn't a good friend because of the fact that I guess I was focusing on my relationship more. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, if you want to listen to her, then I'll let you listen to her, and I just left it alone.
Yes.
Sure did. So I get it. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I don't want to hold up your phone line.
No, you good, Travis.
It's
It's a light night tonight. This is a new little thing that we're rolling out. I actually enjoy it because I feel like we can just sit back and kiki and be real and podcasts.
Right.
It's like, this is what I would dream to do. This is what I really like to do. That other stuff that I do during the day, child, I'll be like, girl, I don't care about them people, but y'all like that stuff, so I got to talk about it.
I don't. I like this.
This is what I like to get into. I like to get into the real stuff. But listen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And make sure you got, you can always go back and rewatch this on you got an Apple, so you can do it on your podcast app if you haven't done so.
I sure do, and I subscribed as well.
Oh, thanks, Bill. Yes. All right. So thanks, Travis.
I subscribed and I rated it.
Oh, period. Pooh. Okay.
Period. Pooh.
All right, Bill. Thank you. Call. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, boo. All right, bye.
I love Travis. I love Travis.
He's always here when he
yes. So yeah. All right, so I might do some of these on camera, I might do some of these off camera. Depends on how I'm feeling. But we're gonna have to make this channel a little bit more real.
Yeah, like we have some real time. And it don't have to be about let's talk about stuff that we all can actually be like.
Yeah, like I think tomorrow I might do a live on Jacked and Grindr. And I don't have time for that. Like I think I really want to really get into that. I think I'm going to do that. So I love you guys all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you guys haven't subscribed, you guys see that little emblem right there. This is the Armand Wiggins Radio Show podcast. It's all that. We got some new little graphics and stuff coming and things like that. Also, excuse me. You see the Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please listen on there, subscribe and rate. And I love you all. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, bye, KJ. Tell them bye, KJ.
Bye, guys. Had a good night with you guys. Thank you for letting me sit here and talk with you guys as well.
Yeah, he'll be here sometimes. He won't be here all the time because he doesn't like to come all the time. He's very moody.
Yeah, we could have a conversation because they think you're like the moody one, but sometimes it's really me, huh?
Yeah, you're very moody. All right, guys. I'm out. Bye.